Teaching students with special needs self-management not only gives them valuable study skills for school, it also gives them practical life skills essential outside the classroom. Dr. Glasser's choice theory is based on a psychology that holds that all human beings are internally motivated. Since behavior is not determined by external forces, each of us is in control of our behavior and responsible for our own decisions. Teaching students to be responsible learners is important in all classrooms and essential in classrooms that include children with special needs. Since children are not born knowing how to be responsible, they must be taught this behavior. When children first come to school, it is probably the first time they have been given jobs to do that are their very own. When students learn how to begin a task, follow directions, and complete it, they can see that they can take responsibility, make decisions, and have some control over their own lives. Teaching her students self-management skills is one of the goals of Clarinda Middle School resource teacher Heidi Shane. In this video, we will see a lesson being taught in a resource room as an example of the type of additional instruction special needs students sometimes receive outside of the regular classroom.
Today we're starting a new novel. They're filling out some independent contracts, and we're going to talk a little bit about the book and some activities that they can choose to go along with the book. You guys have read, we did our Gary Paulson, where you got to read with a partner. You've also done books on tape. We're trying to get you to read on your own, right? And feel comfortable reading on your own. So I have chosen a smaller novel. It's all within your AR range, and you're going to read these on your own. Okay? It's just so you can feel some success with reading, because you've done really, really well. The book is called Chocolate Fever. What do you assume the book is probably going to be about? By looking at the pictures and hearing the title, what do you think Chocolate Fever is going to be about?
Chocolate.
Mitch?
Somebody who loves chocolate.
Okay, somebody who loves chocolate. Gina, what'd you say?
Chocolate.
Chocolate, right? Chocolate. Anybody else? But looking at the pictures, can you see, what about the fever part? Chocolate fever. When do you usually have a fever, Josh? Getting a stomach ache, being sick. Have you ever eaten too much chocolate? No? You don't like chocolate. Raise your hand if you do like chocolate.
Yes.
No. This is actually, usually when you have a fever, you've had some kind of infection, some kind of sickness or illness, and he has an illness with chocolate. On the back it says, Henry Green was a boy who loved chocolate. He liked it bitter, sweet, dark, light, and daily. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In snacks, in cakes, candy bars, milk, and every other form you could possibly imagine. Henry probably loved chocolate more than any other boy in the history of the world. One day it started off like any other day. Henry found that strange things were happening to him. First he made medical history with the only case of chocolate fever ever. Then he found himself caught up in a wild and hilarious chase, climaxed by a very unusual hijacking. So the very most exciting part of this book is going to be some sort of hijacking. And we also know from the back that he is going to get a medical condition known as chocolate fever, the only one that's ever been around. I'm going to pass out the vocabulary. These you'll need to keep in your reading folder. I'm going to read down through the words, and then I'm going to ask you to use the word in your own sentence. It gives some sentences from the book, but I'm going to have you tell me use the word in your own sentence. So the first one is bargain. It means over and above what is expected. I'm sure you've done a lot of bargaining with your parents before. Raise your hand if you can tell me, use the word bargain in a sentence, in your own sentence. Josh?
Can you cut me a bargain on this bed?
Say it one more time.
Can you cut me a bargain on this bed?
And when you're asking them to cut you a bargain, what are you asking them to do?
Make it cheaper.
Make it cheaper, okay? Next word is concentrate. Your own words. Use the word concentrate. Gina?
I've got to concentrate on my review for my test tomorrow.
Okay. And when you concentrate, what would you be doing?
Focusing on.
Focusing, right. Think, pay attention, focusing. Good. Infirmary. A place for the care of sick. Infirmary, Sam. Can you think of a sentence using the word infirmary?
A hospital?
Okay, it's, so think of the word hospital and how you could use it in a sentence, but just exchange it for the word infirmary.
When you're sick, you go to the infirmary.
Right, okay. I think in the military they use the word infirmary instead of hospital. So if you're sick, you go to the infirmary. Revolting, nauseating, horrible, awful, dreadful. Don't use your sister's names. How can you use revolting in a sentence? Can you, Jonathan, without using your sister's name? Revolting. Savannah?
My little cousin was revolting.
Okay, what was he doing that was revolting? Was he being really nice to you and sharing things with you? And
No.
what's he doing?
He was being mean to me.
Being mean. Okay, so that was revolting, disgusting, nauseating, horrible. These are individual reading contracts. We have not done these before, so let me explain to you what you need to put on them. First of all, you need to put your name. That's the first line. The date is on the board, 2/21/06. The book title is Chocolate Fever. What this contract is saying is that you're going to be responsible for reading this book on your own by March 14th. That's the due date, March 14th. I would not sign a contract that asked me to pick up 100 pounds every day. I couldn't do it. I can't do it. So I would not sign that contract. You guys can read this book, and you can do it on your own independently. And so I'm asking you to sign a contract with me that says, yes, I will read it, yes, I will do what I'm asked, and yes, it will be done by the 14th. When you go to high school next year, Mrs. Martin will give you a book, and she'll say it's due at the end of the trimester, and she'll never mention it again. It is up to you to know what you have to do without having daily reminders about getting something done. You have all the class time you need to read the novel. You won't have to read it outside of class. But I want you to see that some things are long term, and you have to know what it takes to get to that spot. You have to be able to know yourself, how many pages you can read in a day, and know what you need to do to get it done. So everybody has their name, their date, the book title. For genre, I'm going to put realistic fiction. I was going to put fantasy because I really have never heard of anybody that has the actual chocolate fever. But it could be possible. If you ate too much of something, you really could get sick. I don't know if you'd get brown spots all over your body. But I'm going to count this as realistic fiction. So if you write that under the genre. Okay. On the very last date down here, you need to put March 14th, 3/14/06, because I told you that's when I want it due. That's when I want it done. So this very last date, you will put 3/14/06. Okay? These are the other dates I want you to add on there. I'm still helping you a little bit to get it done. So this first date, you're going to put 2/28. The very first date line, 2/28. Then below that, you're going to put 3/3. Just going down again, 3/7, 3/10, 3/13, and there's the very last due date I told you, which is 3/14. So then you will have all of these dates filled out. What pages you say you're going to read from day to day is up to you. The 28th, I brought a calendar out here. Today is the 21st. So I'm asking you, how many pages do you feel like you could read in 3 days? Everybody's novel starts on page 13. So that's kind of confusing. It says, I plan to read from pages blank to blank. The very first blank has to be 13, because that's what page everyone is starting on. So you should have all the dates filled in. So how far can you get from now till the 28th? Page 13 to page what? So look at the print, maybe read a sentence or two and look at the different types of vocabulary. This will say 13. This will say 13, and all the dates are right up there. Put how many you think you can read by the 28th. Then the next deadline is the 3rd. That's that Friday. So another 3 more days. So the very last page number blank you'll fill in is 93. So you look through the novel and decide which one, how many pages you can read, and you need to fill those pages in. So I didn't want to say, here's the novel, it's due March 14th, we're done. Also, we're going to do activities with the book. Remember, we've talked about imagining things while you are reading helps you become a better reader. Writing down things that you read helps you become a better reader. Doing activities with the book will help you become a better reader. Talking. Everybody's going to be reading the same book, so talking to each other about the book will help you understand the book better and be a better reader. While you are deciding on the number of pages you want to read, I'm going to hand out a tic-tac-toe board and talk a little bit about the activities. I tried to choose different activities that I thought you might be interested in. Okay, so if you go to the tic-tac-toe board, I'll give you time to go back with your contract here when I go over the activities. If you look up in the very top corner, it says Chocolate Adventure Worksheet. These are yours to keep, so feel free to write notes on them if you want to. What you're going to have to do is make a tic-tac-toe, whether it be diagonal or cross or vertical, horizontal. Somehow you are going to choose 3 activities that will make a tic-tac-toe that you will also have done by 3:14. Some of them can be done while you're reading. Some of them are done when you're done reading. So if you think that you can finish the book early, you might want to choose some of these activities that happen after the book is over. If you want to write on these to kind of help you decide which direction you want to go, can I do the Chocolate Adventure Worksheet, the chocolate survey, and then name that candy bar? Can I do that? Here, here, here. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Here, here, then here.
Oh no.
No, you can't do that. It's not a tic-tac-toe, right? Chocolate Adventure Worksheet. This is on the internet. A lot of you guys are way more computer savvy than I am. It is a web quest that's already been set up on the internet by a different teacher from a different school that you get to find out about chocolate, how it was made, when it was invented. You get to find out a little bit about the author, and you also get to figure out about the Toll House cookie legend. You'll learn all those things on the web quest. That is what that first square is. The next one, Gold Star Book Award. This is one, so the internet one you could do anytime. You could start on that one tomorrow if you wanted to. Before you even started the book, you could do that. The Gold Star Award it would be done after the book is done. It is a poster giving the author, Robert Kimmel Smith, a gold star for the book. And you have to say why you liked the book, why you would recommend it to somebody else. So if you like art, if you like doing fancy, I know Savannah likes doing fancy letters. She's very artistic. Josh is very artistic. If you like to do that, this might be something you want to choose because you get to show off then your art talent in your poster. Character web. This one probably you're going to do as you read. Henry is the main character. His name goes in here. You're going to write 6 sentences about Henry. Henry likes chocolate would be a real easy one. We already know that. Complete sentences, correct punctuation, correct spelling. If you know you're somebody who has trouble comprehending what you read, this will help. Because when you're done, you've got a complete idea of what Henry is like. Most of the questions on the test will probably be about who? Henry. And you have already done the work for studying. Okay, so if this is something you need, you might choose that. Character poster. For the art people, again, you will draw a picture of Henry. You can take a picture of somebody that you think looks like Henry. You can take a picture out of a magazine. And then you're going to write characteristics about him. So more art, more drawing. Also have to know a lot about the character. Chocolate survey. I have a list of 30 candy bars. You will have to ask 50 people what their favorite is. This is for math people. After you ask the 50 people what their favorite candy bar is, you're going to graph it. You can use a pictograph, you can use a line graph, you can use a bar graph, you can use a circle graph, whatever kind of graph you want. I'll help you make copies, hand it out to 50 of your friends, 50 of your relatives, then come back and that can be done anytime, of their favorite candy bar. A Hershey bar challenge. I will provide you with a Hershey bar, so don't everybody jump for that one because you want a Hershey bar, but I found something else on the internet that asks you 32 questions about a Hershey bar. I did not know you could ask that many questions about a Hershey bar, but there is math and there is writing, and you would be responsible for looking at that candy bar and answering all 32 of those questions about a Hershey bar. Name that candy bar. My other reading group was very excited about this one. I will bring in 12 candy bars, wrappers off, cut in half, and I'm going to challenge you to see how many of them you can name. Then you have to bring in the same number of candy bars, the miniature ones are fine, and challenge somebody else in the room. So I will do an experiment on you with a candy bar cut in half, then you have to do the same thing the very next day with somebody else. So if Gina wants to be challenged by me and my candy bars, and I won't choose Reese's Pieces because those are too easy. I'll try to pick the square ones. And then you see how many you can get right. Then you would do the same thing. You can pick any 12 that you want and maybe come back and ask Josh to help you with yours.
Can we taste them?
And you can taste them when they're done. We'll share them. Okay? That's Name That Candy Bar. Diary entries, if you like to write, if you already keep a diary at home, this would be one you would like. I need 5 entries, maybe the drama people, 5 entries about how you think Henry feels anytime during the book. How would you think he would feel the day he woke up and he had brown spots all over his body? Upset? You think happy? He might be. Maybe he likes to be noticed. Maybe he was excited about being different, right? Or he might be a little sad, a little nervous, a little upset. So you're going to write 5 diary entries about how Henry feels 5 times during the book. And then the very last one is book parts. This is one that would have to be done at the very end of the book. Again, for my people who are good spellers and who enjoy writing. The saddest part, the funniest part, the most unbelievable part, the most embarrassing part, and the happiest part. You know some things you were already interested in. On the very bottom of your reading contract, you need to tell me the 3 that you're going to do. And you can't pick 3 today and change your mind and do 3 tomorrow. So choose the 3 that you want to do. The book and all 3 of those activities are due when? What, 14th?
March.
Huh? I thought you said February 14th. March 14th. Everything would be due March 14th. So decide which you want to do. Write them here. And I want a signature on this bottom line. Choices are really important in special ed. They feel like then it's or any kid really, they feel like it's more, they own it. It's, if they like art activities, they can choose 1 or 2 art activities. I like to scrapbook, but that doesn't mean everybody in here, I'd have them do these wonderful scrapbook pages if it were me and it was my choice. But I think if they get more choice, they have ownership of their work, ownership of their material. They feel good about themselves, that they can show, maybe they're not the best reader, but they're an awesome artist, or they're really good in math, which some of these kids are really good at. Numbers are way better than words. So then they can kind of show some of their strengths in reading class. I really, in this lesson, wanted to make them become more independent as a reader. And I also wanted them to be prepared for high school when, they have a semester test at the end of the trimester and it's never talked about again. Or the English teacher says this book is due in 2 months and you're responsible for reading it and doing written responses on it. And I worry about those the special ed kids not getting frequent reminders or daily reminders. Remember, this is due tomorrow, this is due tomorrow. So kind of a long-term assignment for them to be working towards. And with the independent contract, it broke it down a little bit into steps for them, so it wasn't just, it's due the 15th, good luck to you. They've kind of made some goals for themselves, which hopefully they'll stay on track and get it done.